State Treasurer Dan Rutherford, thanks for joining us on the Illinois Channel.
Good, Terry. It's nice to be back with you. Thank you.
We want to get into a variety of the issues that you're running on and what you would do as governor. But first, as we tape this on February 6th, this is a Thursday, the preceding Friday, you had a press conference that was, I think, a little bit maybe confusing to some people. And rather than me restating what it was, why don't you just tell us what was that about?
Well, I hope it wasn't confusing. Very candidly, the general counsel of the Treasurer's office about a week before had gotten a communication from an attorney that was representing someone in the Treasurer's office that said there were certain allegations against the Treasurer. And so they went ahead and had a conference call the next day where the general counsel of the Treasurer's office and the outside attorney, labor attorney, listened to the attorneys for the accuser and went through certain allegations. That said, during that conversation, two attorneys heard the accuser's attorneys state that we can keep this under wraps. And when asked what the resolution to it was going to be, the statement was $300,000. This was brought to my attention. I said, well, this is inappropriate, number one. So then as the information from the accuser's attorney came forward, what the allegations were, what kind of information they had, and everyone looked at it, everyone internally looked at it, and there was no grounds at all. It was completely unsubstantiated. And that's when I said, you know, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going public. And we were very candid about it, that unfortunately, because of it being a personnel matter, can't identify who the accuser is or what the allegations are. Now, that makes it very complicated for me, particularly when you're 6 weeks out from an election. And I do believe in my heart of all hearts this was politically motivated. I think the timing of it was extremely intentional. I think Mr. Rauner and his team, because of many other things that are going on right now, is behind a lot of this stuff. And we now have brought on an external investigator, someone who is a retired federal agent with the Internal Revenue Service that is going through everything, just everything. And what I've asked them to do through the attorneys is if we could do this as expeditiously as possible, just because we want to get this resolved, but yet not at the expense of thoroughness. So that is what's happening right now, and we're going to be waiting for that report.
Do you have anything that ties, or why do you mention Bruce Rauner?
Well, I think there's a couple things. One, the attorney for the accuser had done some work for his campaign, all right, nominal as it was. Number two, there is an external or an independent expenditure group that has already gone out after Congressman Aaron Schock to try to keep him out of the race, and it was widely believed that Mr. Rauner was behind that. Number two, there is now, today even, another outside group that's running ads against myself and the two other senators that are running, but doesn't even mention Mr. Rauner. He denies that he's involved with the two, but you just kind of say, really? You know, okay. You've got reporter.
Have you looked into, I've seen those commercials.
Sure.
Have you looked who's behind that group? Or?
Well, I haven't. It's an outside independent expenditure, and obviously because of the way the laws are written, you can't find out who's funding it. Also, when you have a Chicago television reporter asking me, he says, do you care to comment? Are you aware the Rauner campaign is out trying to shop stories to the various Chicago media? I said, no, I'm not going to go there. But obviously, if you're asking the question, you know that that's what's going on. You've got comments from others that suggest that Mr. Rauner has told his fundraising people that he's going to, quote, destroy his opponent. So all of those factors out there, in my opinion, I don't think there's any question, but it's politically motivated. I think the timing was intentional, and I think the gentleman's behind it.
If you believe that, and if Bruce Rauner were to be the Republican nominee, is he somebody you would be able to support?
We will go forward and cross those bridges when we get there. I intend to be the Republican nominee for governor.